So many of us spend our lives worrying about what others think of us, and it completely f***s everything up. Full disclosure, before this video, I spilled some coffee on my shirt. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, who knows. And I had this thought about changing the shirt because, oh, what are people gonna think if I've got a coffee stain on my shirt? Then I realized I'm making a video about how to not give a f*** about what others think of you. So here I am with my coffee stained shirt. But look, if you can ever think of a time or an example where you've held back from doing something because of what others might think, then you really need to watch this video. This is a message for you. I spent so much of my life worrying about what others are going to think of me, the judgment of them, being approved of others, being seen a certain way, being validated, and it was like a prison. I was creating my own prison because I was worrying about what others are going to think about me. That's not a very fun place to be. It's not a very freeing place to live. Over time, this began to change, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few different insights that I've had, which helped me to stop giving a about what others thought of me. I want to start this off with an analogy. If I went down to the bank and I was going to make a deposit right into my account, and let's say the bank teller said, okay, how much do you want to deposit? And I said, I want to deposit 50 opinions people have of me. That teller would likely think, well, that's not a valid currency, so you must be having a joke. And there's a reason I'm using this analogy, because if I'm trying to deposit someone's opinion of me, it has no value. What am I going to do with someone's opinion, right? What bearing does someone's opinion have on my own life? It's worthless, it's meaningless. But this is what we do to ourselves, giving so much value to what someone might think. And this ties into the deepest thing to see here. You see, it's not really what people think that we're afraid of. It's not really someone else's judgment or opinion of us that is the real problem. There's a meaning behind it. There's an interpretation. That meaning is what creates all of the problem. So think about this. What is the meaning you're attaching to what someone thinks of you? Let's say if you were to be approved of or seen a certain way, or to be validated, what would that mean about you? Now, generally speaking, what this comes down to is some sense of being worthy, of being enough, of being loved. And I get why we might feel that way, or how it might seem that way. But this is what our mind is associating the opinion of others with being enough, with being worthy, with being loved. But this is a complete lie. It's a complete fabrication and interpretation that we've been feeding, not realizing how made up it really is. And when we can start to catch that and realize this meaning we're creating around what others think has no intrinsic meaning, it's something that we're creating, we can begin to notice and drop it. If we stop giving so much analysis, interpretation, meaning, importance to what other people think, then what other people think no longer has the power that we've been giving it. And that's where the real freedom starts to occur. I've spoken to so many people who they may hold back from doing something in their business. They may not get into certain relationships because of how others might see it. And you end up living your life based on someone else's life. You're no longer living your life. It's like you're on a leash based on how other people want you to live your own life. How does that make any sense? We're individuals, we're unique, we have our own path, our own purpose, and no one better understands that than ourselves, than our own innate intuitive wisdom. So this is the distinction here, to begin seeing that it's your own path, it's your own life, it's something that you get to live yourself. And it requires taking a stand for that. Some people don't see an option or a way out because if they were to take a stand, they may encounter resistance, and that can be normal. But the person that they're resisting is taking a stand. So you have to be willing to take that own stand for yourself in order to then carve a different path. It's what I like to call breathing life into something different. Taking a stand for the path that you want to follow is what opens up a whole different possibility, as opposed to living at the mercy of what other people want for you. I know a lot of you can relate to that. I'm going to finish this video with another insight that is a real game changer. It's seeing the opportunity in what we're actually worrying about and what others think. What do I mean by opportunity? Sometimes, if we're not rooted or centered in our own sense of self, our own self-esteem, our own self-image, we can look for others to validate something that we may not see within ourselves, which is why we're seeking it externally. There's that golden saying, know thyself. And to know thyself is to be truly in tune and in touch with who you are. So there's opportunity in noticing what we're looking to get externally that we're not seeing within. This is gold. So now, if I ever catch myself trying to get something externally from from someone else that I don't see in myself. It's an opportunity for me to know myself even deeper, to begin turning the gaze within and to look at how I can see that within myself as opposed to looking for it externally. It's the complete game changer because we start to look within as opposed to looking outside of ourselves. We all live in a self-imposed prison, a self-imposed cage, and most of that cage is made up of how we might be perceived to others. This is one of the most important videos you could ever watch. And I need to hear this message too sometimes, because living at the mercy of what other people might think of you, it creates those steel bars, that cage, that prison around you, and you can't be as uninhibited and free as you want to be. So every single insight we've explored in this video, if you were to really see it, revisit it, implement it, and start living your life in this way, that is the greatest freedom that you could ever have. To be completely free from the opinions and judgments of others. Are you hearing that? And if you have this thought that it's not already within you, just go back to when you were a kid. So many kids run around and they're completely free of this judgment of others. They're just acting and being however they want to be because that's what we're born with. We're born like this, it's innate, it was made within us. We just lose sight of it over time. So you're not trying to be someone else, you're just returning to who you already are. Thanks for watching this video, and I'd love to hear more about your experience of this. Tell me what you got from this video, what's helped you to stop caring about what others think of you. And if you found value, give this a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love.